There we go. All right, so I want to welcome everybody to class this morning. Congratulations on making it to yoga. And as one of the weather forecasters said this morning, this lovely March day in May. And so I'm hoping today we're going to be able to help you generate a little bit of heat in class. Today's class is, we've been doing a series on the doshas in Ayurveda. And there are 3 doshas. And I won't go into all of them in case you have not been with me, but you can go back and you can always contact Val Markovska, who is certified Ayurvedic practitioner with the Chopra Center, if you're interested in learning more, or contact me. But today's dosha or energy type that we're going to talk about is Pitta. And Pitta energy, hopefully you'll remember that we all have all 3 of these, but we tend towards one or the other. And what's really optimal is when they're in balance, as in most of life, right? So what we want to do today is explore what is that Pitta energy and how can I use it. I was telling Allie, the interesting thing is I was researching Pitta and Pitta yoga sequences and things. Pitta can get so overpowering that almost all of them universally were Pitta balancing. They were trying to calm down Pitta energy. So what is Pitta? Pitta is fiery, it's full of the fire element, and it's that, it's the dosha associated with leadership, decisiveness, directness, and resilience. Kind of cool, right? Sounds good. But out of balance, dosha, the dosha of Pitta can be jealous or angry. It can be that fire that just kind of rages in your belly. You're not really sure why you're upset about something, but everything's not quite right. And in balance, Pitta can constitute and confer strength, precision, intellect, and concentration. So those leadership abilities we really want to tap into in our lives. And remembering, we're leaders for ourselves, not just other people. So it doesn't matter if you're not a CEO, doesn't matter what you're doing, how you lead your life. That's a leadership quality. So the really important thing I'd like you to take away and why we're caring about Pitta today is that idea that when we can tap into our Pitta energy, we don't have to kind of sway with the ocean currents of our lives. So whether it is rainy and cloudy outside, whether it's sunny and beautiful, if we just got good news, bad news, doesn't matter. If we can harness our Pitta energy, then we can stand firm, fast, and follow through with the things that we want to. Most of us would like to find that in our lives. So let's see if we can tap into that today for you. So first we'll start out by centering, coming into our Sukhasana, our easy seated position. This is where Miss Delaney has gotten a little comfortable. So come into your easy seated position and press down through the sit bones and then lift up through the heart, giving yourself space and letting your mind start to think about that idea of Pitta dosha, that energy. Think about how you see that in yourself. That sometimes when maybe you find jealousy or anger, or you get frustrated and you hold on to things, or the other side of that Pitta dosha, that dosha that enables you when everyone else is waffling and saying, I don't know, for you to be able to move forward, to trust your instincts. And then think about how harnessing Pitta, whether you need to suppress it in your life or whether you need to encourage it in your life, on your mat today might look. How might you bring more confidence, more precision into, more conciseness into your yoga practice, more muscular energy? Or how might you let go of over-efforting and find more relaxation? Set your goal for your mat, for your body, and for your day. And as you're ready, bring your hands together at your heart center. And then open the back of the neck by gently bowing the head, bringing the fingertips towards the forehead, just honoring your intention. And inhale, lifting the head up. Let the eyes stay soft as the hands come down around the knees. We're actually going to start right away getting up off our mat. So I'm going to move the dog, and I'd like you all to come up to a Tadasana or mountain pose, making certain that you've cleared any props off of your mat as you move. Just make your way any way you would like up to that mountain pose. And think about your Pitta dosha, how you want to engage that. We're going to start here by coming to Ujjayi breath. If you've never done Ujjayi, I'll review it. If you've done it, then I want you just to drop into that breath, and as you build your Tadasana, your mountain pose. So let your body get quiet, just standing easily in your mountain Tadasana pose. Let your eyes close again. Feel how steady you are here. Now, if balance is a challenge and you're closing your eyes is a problem, then just open them with a soft focus. Otherwise, bring the tip of your tongue to the very top of your mouth where your teeth meet the roof of your mouth. Kind of hollow your tongue out as though you're trying to point the tip of the tongue right there. Ujjayi breath is sometimes called the ocean breath because when we do it well, it sounds like ocean waves inside of our head. So as you hold the tip of the tongue there, firm up the back of your throat and take a deep inhale. Then keeping the tongue in that position, throat firmed, exhale and flow that breath back out over the tongue through the nose and see if you can begin to come to an ocean sound in your head. Take at least 3 more breaths that way, making certain that they are even in with out so that you don't make yourself dizzy. Just a reminder, if you're having issues during class, feel free to hit your space bar and talk to me. I want to make certain you can access this Ujjayi breath. It's also referred to as Darth Vader breath. You might be getting that feeling. And then when you've completed those rounds, go ahead and let the breath return to just a normal, natural breath and feel that difference. Ujjayi breath, when we bring that into our practice, helps calm our mind and it helps to build heat in our body. So we want to constantly be going back to either Samavriti, even in and out, or Ujjayi, which is a variation on Samavriti. So now let's build that mountain pose, pressing down through the feet, drawing the shins in, pulling the thighs apart, engage the glutes, lift up through the abdominals, slide those shoulders down and apart, feeling the shoulder blades coming together on the back. Let the eyes softly close, come back to that Ujjayi breath. Take one more full in and out in your Ujjayi. And then let the eyes open, raise the arms up over your head, drop the hips and find a chair pose. As you settle down into this chair pose, can you come back to that Ujjayi breath? Once you've found the Ujjayi breath, bring the hands down to the hips, press the hips towards the floor. Now think about rolling the outer hips outward, the inner thighs inward, knees stay straight forward, shins press in, feet, all 4 corners press down. Hopefully the bottom of your body just got really active. You might even be starting to sweat already. Pull the belly in, lift the heart, and raise the arms. With your next exhale in your breath, can you drop your seat just a little bit lower? Breathe, either Samavriti or Ujjayi. On your next exhale, swing your hands down to a diver position. And then on the inhale, press right back up to that chair pose. Exhale, sink deeper. Release the hands down for diver. Inhale the arms up, sink the hips lower. One more time, hands pressed down for diver. Inhale the arms up, sink those hips lower. Inhale, stretch up. Elise just said, enough. Hands come to the heart. Shake the legs down. Did we get you breathing? Get you moving there? All right. Inhale, stretch the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, place your hands, come down to your mat and find a tabletop. Now using that same Ujjayi breath, come back to it. And we'll take 5 rounds of cat-cow, focusing on drawing in the Ujjayi breath. So with the inhale, letting the belly drop towards the floor. With the exhale, press that floor away just as hard as you did when you pressed to diver. With the inhale, belly drops down. Exhale, keep flowing. And the next time you find your spine in a neutral position, press up away from the mat. Bring the toes together, take the knees out wide. Exhale the hips down and back, finding your child's pose, stretching out. Come back to that Ujjayi breath and then cup the fingers, coming up onto the fingertips, stretching through the arms, breathing deeply. With the knees out wide, your belly has some space here for you to take those nice deep breaths required for Ujjayi breath. One more in and out, and then we'll move through a flow with our breath. On your next inhale, rise up, finding your table. Take the hands slightly forward of a traditional table, tuck the toes. On the exhale, lift the hips, press back and up, finding down dog. Inhale, shifting the weight forward to plank. Exhale, dropping the knees. On the inhale, take the knees wide, and on the exhale, drop the hips down to child's pose. Keep on going. Inhale, back up through table. Tuck those toes. Exhale, lift the hips, finding your down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, drop the knees. On the inhale, organize the feet for your child's pose, and on the exhale, press back down. Do that pattern one more time, following the breath. Exhaling up to your down dog. Inhaling out to a plank. Exhaling the knees to the ground. Taking the knees wide. Exhaling back and taking child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Samavriti, Ujjayi, whatever feels good. Now I want to remind you through class, I'm going to try to keep you moving, and if you need a break, child's pose is always a great place to go, right? When you're ready, on an inhale, press up and forward through your tabletop. Stretch your legs out so that you are in a high plank. Pull the belly in and then release the right arm down and the left arm down, finding a forearm plank. Hold this for one full in and out breath, and then drop the pelvis to the floor. Stretch out through the legs, pull the hands back towards the hips, lift through the heart, and find a cobra pose. Sphinx pose. This is Sphinx. Sorry, Nancy. Breathe here. Pull that belly up to support the upper back. We're going to be practicing cobra with no hands in just a moment. So focus on those muscles in the back pulling you up here as the belly supports them. Then release yourself down, come all the way flat on the mat. Bring the hands to stack. Bring the elbows, these would be knees, bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet towards the sky. You can rest your head as you just windshield wiper the legs a little bit. One of the things about Pitta is that we need to remember to take those little breaks so that we can come back. Stretch the legs back out on the mat. Bring the hands back by the rib cage. Roll the shoulders back. Press the tucked toes under you. Press up through a tabletop and then lift up and find a down dog. Go ahead and walk this dog out. Taking a few breaths. And then coming back to that Ujjayi breath in your down dog. Ujjayi and down dog are great soulmates. They help us keep the energy going when we're here. Now in your down dog, I want you to think about rolling your inner thighs towards each other and relaxing the heels towards the floor. Then look forward, bend your knees and step or hop up to your forward fold. We'll meet at the top of the mat. Once you arrive there, inhale halfway up, exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up, and exhale, hands down to heart center. Release the hands down by the hips. We'll do 2 sun A's. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, place the hands and step or hop. If you want more Pitta, hop. Exhale, chaturanga, come all the way down on this first one. Stretch through the feet. Inhale, press up, baby cobra. Tuck those toes. Exhale, lift the hips and press back up to down dog. Taking a few breaths here. Coming back to that ujjayi. Behind the next inhale, look forward, bending the knees, and step or hop up, finding your forward fold. Inhaling halfway when you arrive. Exhaling and folding. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Release the hands down. And we'll do that one more time with a little variation on our cobra. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. Plant the hands, step or hop back, finding your plank. Take your chaturanga, but do come all the way down. Stretch through the legs. Roll the shoulders back and up, pull the belly in, and then see, can you lift the hand? Keep breathing. Stay there in your cobra. Hi, Carrie. Pull the hands off the mat, and then exhale and release the heart down. I realized I was too far forward, you couldn't see me. One more time. Inhale, press up to baby cobra. Now, can you come to the fingertips? Pull the belly in and let the belly and the back muscles pull you up. Float the hands up off and see if you can stay lifted. That's beautiful, Kent. And then exhale and come down. And one more time as you're ready. Roll those shoulder blades back, pull through the heart, lifting up. Come to the fingertips, pull the belly in, and then release the hands and let them float. And then exhale and come back down. Again, stack those hands. Let the cheek come to rest. Bend the knees and windshield wiper the legs. Beautiful. Stretch those legs back out. Bring the hands back by the rib cage. You choose either reverse your plank or press through table and find your down dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. Finding that ujjayi breath. And at the end of the next inhale, look forward, bend the knees, and behind the exhale, step or hop, finding your forward fold. Inhaling halfway up, exhaling and folding. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up, and exhale, hands to heart center. Shake it all out. Okay, we all warmed up, ready to go? Yeah? Okay. If you need a drink, grab one. Otherwise, make certain that you have a couple of blocks for the rest of the class just near the top of your mat, so that if you want them, they're there. And I don't have to keep remembering to cue them because I won't. All right. If your balance is a little bit off today, feel free to go stand by something solid. A table, a chair, a sofa, whatever will work for you. All right. Find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. And then bring your hands to your hips and press down, getting heavy through those hips, and then lift up through the heart. Stand well on the right foot and lift the left leg up. Flex that foot and find Ardha Tadasana. Fix your gaze on one spot. Press the thighs back, lift up through the heart to lengthen. Then when you're ready, take that left leg out to the left side. Try to keep it at a right angle. If you can see yourself on your computer, some of you will be able to, others will not. Come back to the center. Now drop the toes only down and pivot the knee out. We're coming to a kickstand. Bring the left ankle into the right ankle, and you decide this can be your tree where you're just working on taking that left hip back, pulling up through the heart. Maybe you're engaging that ujjayi breath here as you rest. Or you begin to travel that foot up the right leg. Just checking in, seeing how does it feel, perhaps finally tucking the left foot up into the right thigh. Wherever you've landed, again, come back to that still ujjayi breath. If you want a balance challenge here, feel free to close the eyes as you breathe and hold your tree. If you need more movement here in this, open the eyes and feel free to play with your tree, letting that tree The leaves can bloom, fall. I always like to add the shoulder opener here where the palms cross one another and then float up. Nice big shoulder opener. And then the fountain of life, the hands come down. Bring the hands back to the hips. Draw that left leg up, bring it out in front, stretch the left leg forward, and then place that foot down and shake those legs out. So how's that pitta? We're standing very solid and still. It's pitta because you have to have will, strength of will, to stand there and hold yourself in those positions, right? Static balance we learned about. Press down through the left foot and lift that right foot up, flexing the right knee. Now notice I went off to the left, so try to pull yourself back to the center, lifting up through the heart, pressing the left thigh back, pulling up through the belly. Then when you're ready, take that right leg out to the right side, opening that hip up. Hold that there. And then come back in through center. Draw the foot down just to the toes. Bring the toes back by the left heel and start to pivot that right hip out and open. Press that right knee out. Breathe and you decide on this side, where do I want to go? Maybe I'm going to stay right here and practice Ujjayi. Maybe I'm going to start to travel that right foot up the left leg. You find your final tree pose, wherever it may be today. And then see if you can close the eyes and get still. I'm a little more wobbly on this side than the other, so definitely don't watch me. And again, you can stay here and practice that Ujjayi breath, or you can begin to play with your tree and have a little fun with balance. It's nice to do what you did on the other side, unless you know, oh, this is a side that requires a little more effort from me or is my easier side. Then you can start to do things like playing with the arms in opposite sides, opposite planes. And take one last in and out breath here in this tree. Then as you're ready, draw with muscular energy the right foot off and swing it out. Place that foot, stretch that leg out. I almost let you skip this part. See if you can lift it a little higher. And then draw the foot down and shake those legs out. Nice. Tree always seems, it's so deceptive. It seems so nice and easy. And then we put both feet down on the floor. Realize, oh, okay. All right, come back to your Tadasana position. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms up. Drop those hips right back down. We're headed back to that diver sequence. So we want to be in Utkatasana. Heart lifted, thighs yelling at you yet. As you exhale, draw the hands back to diver. Inhale, this time sweep them all the way up. Drop the hips further down. Exhale, the hands back to diver. Inhale, up to chair. Drop the hips down. Exhale, the hands back to diver. Inhale, up to chair. Drop those hips down. Inhale, stand up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Shake it all out. Beautiful. We're going to add that as a little intensity pumper-upper. So if you don't ever want that, feel free. Just hold your chair, go to a forward fold, whatever works for you. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands and step back, finding your plank. Feel free to take the vinyasa here or to simply press back to down dog. Do what serves your body at this point in your practice. We'll all meet there in down dog. Once you're in your down dog, take 2 breaths. And then drop your knees down to the ground. Come to a toe crunching position and find your strap. Now we're headed to a runner's lunge with a quad stretch. So if reaching back and grabbing your foot is not your version of fun or accessible, make a loop, make a small loop in the bottom of your strap, okay? If you can easily reach back and do that quad stretch, then don't worry about it, but we'll all meet with a loop, all right? And let's start by placing that loop around, if you're using the loop, around the left foot. And from here, we'll step the right foot forward and we'll take the left foot further back. If you make certain that your strap's tail is coming forward by you, that will make this maneuver a whole lot easier for you. All right. Now dig your left toes in and take the left leg a little further back. So you're in a deeper lunge. Scissor the legs together. Inhale and sweep the arms up. Low lunge. Nice little hip flexor stretch here. Draw the hips down and forward and breathe. Keep pulling the legs towards each other, even as you're driving the hips towards the front foot. Then inhale up to a neutral lunge. Bring your hands down to your mat. And if you're using your strap, you can grab the tail. If you're not using the strap, simply bend the left leg, reach back and find the left ankle with the left hand. Then you can walk your fingers up. You can walk up to your right fingers or to your right knee with your hand. Square your heart to the front of the mat. Lift the right hand up. Now start to press the left foot away as you draw the hips down and forward. Should feel an intense hip flexor stretch here. And breathe. Bring the right hand down to the knee. Release the left foot, letting it drop but not rubber band. Hands come down to frame the right foot. Stretch through the left leg, coming to a runner's lunge. Again, breathe. Draw that left knee down and begin to walk your right hip back. Now you might want to bring your blocks along with you for this ride. We're headed to a half Hanuman, half splits. So I want to make certain that my left hip is right over my left knee and my right foot is stretched straight out from my right hip. Pull your right hip back and flex your foot toes towards your face. Lift up through the heart. You're welcome to stay here and simply breathe if you're feeling enough in the back of the right hamstrings. Want a little more? Exhale and release the nose down towards the toes. Go back to that Ujjayi breath as you stretch here, pulling that right hip back, left hip forward, hips stay elevated, breathing. On your next inhale, lift up through the heart, pick up your block if you're using them and take them over to the left side. Pivot so that your blocks are off about a 45, pardon?
Right side.
Oh, right side. Kent was just correcting left and right for me. You want to go to the other side of your right leg. Left block comes over to the right side. There you go. You got it. And then flatten through the back again, lifting up through the heart. Exhale and bow. Resist the urge to let the hips dip. Keep them nice and high. Let the heart lead the way. You should feel this nice stretch on the right IT band. Inhale up. Elise says, yeah, I feel the stretch. I'm not sure I would define it as nice, right? All right, come back through center. Walk the blocks forward. Stand well on that foot. You're in a deep lunge again. The hands come down to frame the right foot. Tuck the left toes. Stretch through that left leg. Press your weight forward so that your right knee is over your right ankle and you're really pressing out long through the back left leg. Then step on that right foot, inhale and swing your left leg up next to your right, shake those legs out, nice big forward fold. Inhale halfway up for Ardha Uttanasana, exhale and fold. Bring the hands to the hips, drop the hips towards the floor, lift the heart. Oh my God, it's another chair pose. Denise is gonna shoot me. And then inhale, stretch all the way up and exhale, hands to the heart center. Shake it all out, nice. All right, we'll vinyasa our way back down to a low lunge on the other side. So if you were using your strap, make certain that your strap is over on the right side of your mat and place it around the right ankle. You want to make certain that your tail is forward so that you can grab it. Once you're all set up, find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. And then inhale, sweeping the eyes and the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale halfway, exhale and fold. Stand well on that left foot, take that right foot back. You can take the vinyasa if you want and we'll all just catch up, but otherwise, those of you that are using the strap, drop that right knee down and place the strap around the arch of the foot here. If you went to down dog, make your way forward, left leg forward in a low lunge. Beautiful. When we're all together, we'll scissor those legs together. Inhale, rising up. And then drop the hips down and forward, finding that low lunge. Beautiful. Breathe. Now let the hands come down. They're going to frame the inside of, they're going to come to the inside of that left foot. You can either grab the strap or simply bend that right leg and reach back with the right hand, finding the foot. Notice my left knee wanted to pull out. I'm going to pull that guy in, come to my left fingertips to find my balance, and then the left knee. And then the left arm floats up as I square my hips and my heart to the front of the mat. Start to press that right leg away as you draw the hips forward and down. Intense hip stretch on the right side. Breathe. Now release that right foot. Hands come down to frame the left foot. Stretch through that back leg just to give that leg a little bit of relief here. Draw that right knee back down, and if you need the blocks, bring them in and start to walk the hips back, stretching the left leg out. Stacking, so I can see looking at myself, my hips are too far over to the right. So I want to pull to the center of the mat, lifting through the hips and taking my left leg out longer. And then lift up through the heart, exhale, and release down towards the front foot. Make certain that the toes are all in the same plane. They're not sickled at all. And then pull the toes back by your face. Keep breathing here. And then inhale, lifting up through the heart. We got to find that side stretch. So the left hand comes off to the left, the right hand travels over to the left side. About a 45-degree angle off of your left leg. Exhale, press down through the heart. Hips stay lifted and high. And then inhale, coming back up, centering your weight on your blocks. Walk the blocks forward until your foot is planted again, that left foot. Take the blocks to the front of the mat. Frame that front foot. Shift the weight forward so you're stretching through that back leg and the left knee is stacked over the left foot. Inhale and sweep the right foot back up next to the left foot. Let the head drop as the hips lift. Shake those legs out. Still the legs and then drop those hips down for a chair pose. Inhaling, lifting the arms up. And breathe. With each chair, can you come a little lower? Can you push the weight a little further back? Then inhale, lifting up. Bring the hands to the heart center and shake it all out. Are we warm yet? Go ahead and take the straps off of your foot. Get a drink if you need one. And then we will all meet at the top of our mat. All right, as you come back to the top of your mat, find your Tadasana pose, your mountain pose. We'll do that diver sequence here. So inhale, stretch those arms up, drop the hips, bring the hands down to the hips, and I want you to focus on rolling the hips out and away. Notice my knees want to pull out. Scroll those thighs in, take the knees so they're pointed straight forward. Shins roll in, press through the feet. Now pull the belly in, lift the arms back up, drop the hips down. On the exhale, come to diver. On the inhale, back to chair. On the exhale, press the hips further down. On the next exhale, press the arms back to diver. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hips deeper. Next exhale, arms go back for diver. Inhale, arms up. One more time, can you sink those hips? And then inhale, stand all the way up. And bring the hands to the heart center. Shake everything out. It's amazing how those little movements get the heartbeat going, right? Find your solid still Tadasana. Come back to your Ujjayi breath. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms up. Exhale, a nice swan dive down. Make it last the full exhale. Inhale, halfway up for Ardha. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or hop back to a plank. Stretch through this plank, and then exhale, chaturanga to your back bend. It can be cobra, sphinx, up dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, press back and up, finding down dog. And breathing. Lift your right leg up and then bend the knee and swing the foot in. We're setting up for warrior two. Place the foot in between the hands, pivot the back foot down, and windmill the arms up. Yay, we're in a pose we all like, warrior two. Tuck that right hip down and back towards the left heel. Check in on that front knee, pull the belly in, relax the arms, lift up through the head, and then press the gaze forward. Flip the front palms and go for a reverse warrior. Nice big in and out breath here. On the next exhale, the hands come back to warrior two. Left hand, left hip, right forearm, right thigh. Pull the hips down and stack the shoulders, and then float that left arm out, finding side angle stretch. Breathe. Let your left hand come back to your left hip, look down, find a block on the right side. We're headed to half moon. So press your weight forward, shifting the block with you. Find where you're stable on the right hand and the right foot. Lift the right leg. Sorry, lift the left leg. If you can do this and lift your right leg, I want to see it. Square the hips, square the shoulders, stretch the left arm up. Bend the knees, float back, finding warrior two. Place your block down. Snuck up on you there, didn't I? Windmill the arms down and frame that front foot. You're back in your runner's lunge. Press back, finding a plank. And it's your choice. You can either vinyasa or go straight to down dog. Take a few breaths, maybe drop to the knees, coming to a child's pose, whatever feels good. It really helps when I can see who's doing what, so I know where we're at. So I'm cueing off all you guys. When we're in down dog, take one more big full breath, and we'll repeat that sequence on the other side, lifting the left leg, remembering coming in with the knee, placing the foot in between the hands, coming to your warrior two. So remembering that this is a common sequence that we do. So today, bringing a little more muscular energy to it, a little more awareness as you move, a little more conciseness in your movements. Start at your foundation, checking in, pressing down through the feet. You know your body. Check in with your warrior two, building this. And as you're ready, flip that front palm and go for a nice, gentle reverse warrior. We always get a break. And then coming back, finding warrior two. Setting your intention here in your warrior two. Bring the right hand to your right hip. Look, bring that left forearm to the left thigh. Draw the left hip down towards the right heel, and then stack right shoulder over left and float that right arm out over the right ear, reaching for the opposite wall. Breathe. Now you know we're headed for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So float that right arm over to the right hip. Look down to your left, finding a block. Bring that block in close to the left foot so you feel balanced as you step forward on the left foot, and then float the left block further forward out to the left, finding balance. Stretch through the left leg and lift the right leg. Stack the hips, stack the shoulders. Maybe the gaze goes out to the right, maybe it goes up to the fingertips. When you're ready, just bend into that front knee and see, can you float right back to your warrior two? Block goes down to the left side. Hands press back up. And then windmill those arms down around that front foot, finding your runner's lunge. And you choose, step back, finding your plank, and either take the vinyasa or press straight back to down dog. And take a few breaths. In your down dog, can you come back to Ujjayi breath? The end of that next breath, look forward, and behind the exhale, step or hop up, finding your forward fold. Inhaling halfway up, exhaling and folding. Inhale, sweeping eyes and arms all the way up, exhaling hands to heart center. Shaking it out. Nice job, guys. How'd you do in that? Some of you I could see, and it looked like you did well in your Ardha-Chandrasana. Do you feel good? I see a couple of thumbs up going there. Okay, good. All right, if not, after class, ask me and I'll give you some pointers and tips for that, all right? For this next one, I'd like you to just come to the center of your mat and then heel toe your feet out almost as wide as your mat, but at least as wide as your hips. And I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be the first time I've tried this since I had a cortisone shot in my knee, so we'll see how this goes. Just like you do in chair, I want you to think about keeping as long as you can the feet flat on the floor, hands come, and think about just descending the pelvis straight towards the floor. You got it, Elise, coming down into a squat. Now, if you don't like a malasana squat, bring the feet in closer and just come like Kenta is to a variation. If you'd like to go deeper in this, but your feet don't want to stay flat, feel free to come up onto the tiptoes and maybe place a rolled blanket underneath you. Find your malasana squat. Hands come to the insides of the knees, pressing out. The knees actively press back in. Hands at the heart center, lift the gaze in the heart. This is a pose that does, for most of us, require strength of will. Not Elise. Elise looks like she could sit here all day. All right. Take one more breath wherever you're at in your malasana squat. And then drop your hands down to the floor. Lift your hips and straighten your legs, dropping your head down, trying to stay in a wide-legged forward fold here. Then with the hands on the mat or the blocks, begin to wiggle heel toe the feet back in. Hands come to the hips, lift up through the heart, come all the way up, and exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to play just a little bit here with balancing on our hands. So this is a basics level class. We're not going to go to crow unless it's in your practice and you want to go there. We're just going to start to play with getting that feeling. Do you guys remember those old bird drink things? It would go back and forth, the seesaw principle. The head would go down, the butt would come up. I'm dating myself. Okay. So what I want you to do is we'll come back. Go ahead and watch for just a moment. We'll come back to our malasana squat, whatever works for us. Now, you may choose to go by a wall to work on this. That may help you. If you know you're going to go into crow, I would ask that you have a landing pad, all right? And then the hands are going to come back to the heart center. Now, we might stay here working on our malasana squat, lifting our heart. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper in this pose and play with balance, hands come down and think of bird's feet, the way they grip the floor, right? They're nice and wide. And then press those finger pads into the floor. And I want you to think you're that little bird going back and forth. As you keep the head and the gaze lifted, you lift the butt and you drop the head. And we're just going to play a little bit with rocking back and forth here. All right.
You should turn sideways and do that.
Kent says I should turn sideways and do that. So let me move things out of the way. So I'm going to come down into my malasana squat. You can be here. And if so, roll your blanket up so your heels have something to land on. Find your malasana squat, play with that, get comfortable. Hands come to the floor, big bird feet. Lift the hips, drop the heart. And then keep the gaze lifted and just start to rock back and forth, letting your hands be your brakes. Starting to trust. I can lift my butt higher than my head and I don't have to somersault. All right, go ahead and just take a few breaths there. Playing with malasana squat, with balancing. This is called the seesaw principle. And when we can begin to trust that we can set ourselves up structurally, we can begin to try other things. Nancy's got a question. Can you hit your space bar?
Can you show the back and forth again?
Sure. So you just come down. She asked if I'd show the back and forth again. So bring the hands down to the floor, and you're just practicing using your hands as brakes, lifting your butt. I'm even keeping the knees connected, so I feel very steady. If I fall, I'm got 6 inches till I'm at the floor, right? I'm not gonna do anything. Now, if this is in your practice and you feel good and you would like to actually go a little deeper, I won't stop you because you're at home, you can do whatever the heck you want. But that next step for those of you is to start to build a shelf with the elbows and lift one foot then the other. All right. So play with your variation. Thank you, Elise. I got there. I had to, had to sneak a little one in. Take just a few more breaths, and then we'll all come back together on our mat. And when you've had enough, come to an easy seated position on your mat. Noticing how those hips feel, how the heart feels. Where's your heartbeat? Can you come back, closing the eyes, tapping back into that Ujjayi breath? This time to calm the body down a little bit. And if that doesn't want to work for you, then always go back to that Samavriti, in and out, just a nice gentle breath. Taking a few moments here to let the heart rate calm down. And to celebrate. Maybe you tried a little something that you don't normally try today in class, in the comfort of your own home. As you're ready, go ahead and let your eyes flutter open. And I'd like you to grab a block and your strap. And just, sorry, have the block available on the side of your mat. And then if you had a loop in your strap, take that loop. Actually, either way, we want a great big loop. And Elise, the answer to your question is yes. Yes and yes. You're free to stay where you want, okay? All right. When you've got your loop all set, come down onto your back. And I'm gonna once again turn sideways. So we'll be headed different directions, just having your block and your strap where you can easily reach them. Take a big breath and notice if the shoulders and the hips are evenly touching the floor. If they're not, feel free, adjust the body so that the shoulders and the hips are even. And then draw the arms in close, the triceps in close to the waist, bending the arms, fingertips towards the sky. Lift through the heart, which will roll the shoulders further underneath you. Now, place the feet slightly closer to your sit bones and then press the heels into the ground. You should feel energy just start to run up the front of your legs as you do that. Pull the belly in and keeping that engaged, use the glutes and lift yourself up, finding a bridge. Keep expanding this bridge as you breathe, pressing out through the knees, lifting up through the heart, rolling the head and the chest up towards the wall behind you. Your hands can relax and come down towards the floor. Take 3 breaths here. I'd like you to have your feet planted so firmly, knees squeezing in together that it pulls the hips up. Then reach out with one hand and find your block, slide it underneath your sit bones, your sacrum, and drop your sacrum down onto whatever level of block feels comfortable for you. Let the hands come back down to the floor and your knees can stay bent for a moment here with this little level of traction. Sorry, Lainey, I just kicked the dog. Or you can stretch your legs out and find this, it's a variation of a supported fish. Lifting and breathing. Again, you might come back to that Ujjayi breath here, relaxing the body. Samavriti, whichever one serves you. the end of your next breath, begin to draw the feet back into your bridge position. Press the heels down, gently lift up off the block. This time, flip the block down to its lowest level and drop the sacrum flat down on the block. Make certain that you feel very supported by where that block landed, moving it around. And then when you're ready, draw the knees in towards the chest and take the feet up towards the sky. Take a moment here, and the reason I was teasing Elise, she likes waterfall, which is what this is. So if you prefer to stay here, stay here. I actually like legs up the wall. Those of you that have a wall, when we go to Shavasana, if you want to do that, you can. But we can find that here by bending the knees and taking that loop around the shins. And then stretching the legs out so that the loop supports us. You can flex the feet, maybe wiggle the toes a little bit. Feel how the body is balanced. You don't really need a wall to hold you here. Let the arms relax back down towards the floor. And take a few deep breaths here. Your thighs will thank you for this as we drain the lymphatic system a little bit. Take 3 more full in and out breaths here. Don't completely release yet. We're not in our Shavasana. And at the end of your next breath, don't worry, the straps will just slide down to your hips. Draw the legs close together. Let the straps slide down, bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet onto the floor. Lift those hips up, drawing the block out from underneath. Drop the hips all the way down onto the floor. Draw the knees in. And if you have the strap around, that's where now you can unwind that strap. Grasp the shins, pull the knees in, and rock side to side. Beautiful. Cross your feet at the ankles, and you can rock front to back and come all the way up to a seated position. I'm going to turn back around on my mat so we're facing one another. Make a little bit of space on either side of your mat, coming to a tabletop position. From this tabletop, with a little bit of space on either side, we're going to come to an easy threading of the needle, releasing the shoulders. So find your tabletop and then press the right hand down. Lift that left arm up and exhale, bringing the left arm down and through, resting on the left shoulder, pressing out through the left fingers. Here, try to keep the hips square to the mat as you draw your right elbow up towards the sky, and you have either your fingertips cupped on the floor or flat, whichever works better for your wrist, your body. Take a few breaths here. And then stretch that right arm up and reach it around, looking for the left thigh. This little shoulder opener. Take that right arm back up, bringing it down, pressing the right hand into the floor, unwinding your twist again, and then drawing the left hand down. Shift the weight over to the left side, floating that right arm up, and draw the right arm down and through, coming to rest on that right shoulder, taking the left fingers, left elbow out to the side, maybe hand flat. Resisting, noticing the hips want to skew. Breathing, and when you're ready, that left arm floats up, reaches behind you, finding maybe the right kidney, maybe the right thigh. On an inhale, stretch that right arm back up, bring the hand back down to the mat, floating that right arm up, unwinding the twist, and bringing the hand back down to the mat. Release the hips to the left, the feet to the right, and come to a seated position here. You can use your strap here if you like on Janyu. I'm not going to take the time to undo my loop. I'm just going to use it with the loop. So I'm going to stretch out towards Dandasana lower body. Flesh comes away from the sit bones, press out through the heels, rotate the inner flesh. And then I'm going to draw that right foot up into kind of a seated tree position. If you're using your strap, you can place that loop around the foot. And then lift up through the heart, press that right knee down towards the mat, flexing the left toes. Draw your arms so that your chest moves towards your left thigh and lift through the heart. Take a big breath here. And then as you exhale, draw the belly towards the thigh, the chest towards the shin, the nose towards the knee. I'm sorry, the nose towards the toes. Don't take the nose towards the knee yet. Inhale, lift up through your heart, flattening your back. And then once again, belly to thigh, chest towards shin, nose towards toes. Then if you're using your straps, release. Just let your hands drop down on either side. And now your head can relax towards your leg. Walk your hands back in. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left leg and take your right hand behind your right hip, pressing into those fingertips. Lift up through the heart and twist yourself open to the right. Keep the right fingers right where they are and begin to slide the left hand down towards your left foot. Maybe bending that left elbow, maybe reaching the right arm up and over your head. Use that right arm and your obliques to lift you up, unwinding this pose. Bring the right knee up towards the sky and stretch the legs back out. If you use the strap on the other side, switch the strap to the right foot here. And again, pull that flesh back and away from the hips, easy for me to say. Draw that left foot up high into the right thigh. Stretch out through the right foot, flexing those toes. If you're using your strap, grab the ends. Use that leverage, lengthening your arms to help you pull the heart up as you press the sit bones away from the heels. And then twist your chest towards your right thigh and begin to think about laying the belly on the thigh, the chest towards the knee or the shin, the nose out towards the toes. Inhale, lifting up, flattening the back. Exhale and press down again. Take a breath here and then release the straps. Let the hands relax, let the head relax. Next breath, walk the hands up. Right hand stays on the inside of the right leg. Left hand comes behind the left hip. Use that leverage to lift up through the heart and twist towards the left. Then pressing the left fingers into the ground, slide the right arm down the right leg, maybe finding the foot, maybe just the ankle, whatever you can grab. And then bending the elbow to pull you closer to the leg. Maybe that left arm floats up, out, and over towards the right toes. Use the obliques in the left arm to float back up, unwinding this. Taking the strap off to the side of your mat, stretching those legs out and shaking them. Nice job. Come all the way down on your back. I'm going to offer you two variations of Shavasana. You can come to the bound supported Baddha Konasana if you would like. So if you've got that big loop in your strap, it can come around you right at where your waistband hits. Soles of the feet come into Baddha Konasana and the strap reaches down around. If you prefer waterfall or legs up the wall, go back to that. Choose the position that serves your body. I like this bound, and I'd kind of forgotten about it. Kent said, you don't do that very often anymore. I think this is nice because the strap allows you to relax into the bind of cobbler's pose. Once you get that bind, so you feel it right around your low back, it should feel good, right where you often, many of us get backaches, pressing in, feet pressing firmly into one another. Then you can bring your hands back by your hips, bend the elbows and bring them to the floor. Now here, if it feels okay, you're going to release and press all the way down onto the ground. If it does not feel okay, come back up and grab your blocks or your blanket and create a little roll for your back. So if it's not okay to go all the way down, just create a little roll that runs the length of your spine and then release down onto that. We want this to be a comfortable position for you. Once you've chosen your final resting place, let your mind's eye drift back to that intention you set for class as you let your body relax and get heavy. Letting your thoughts and your mind focus just on that intention. How did you choose to let Pitta energy serve you in class today? No judgment, just awareness. Information for your next practice. Come back to either the Samavriti breath or a quiet, calm variation of Ujjayi, hearing the ocean inside your head. Begin to become aware of your breath again, moving in and out. Letting your fingers and your toes wiggle back and forth. Let the hands slide underneath the thighs, drawing the knees close together gently, drawing one foot then the other out of the loop if you took that bound Baddha Konasana. If you've got a block or bolsters underneath your spine, gently roll over to your right side, cradling your head in your arm. If you're stretched out long on your mat, pull your knees in towards your chest and then roll to your right side. We'll all meet there. And on your next breath, hands help you gently rise up, finding that easy seated position. Eyes closed, hands at your heart center. A translation by Stephen Mitchell of the Bhagavad Gita says, "The wise man lets go of all results, whether good or bad, and is focused on the action alone. Yoga is skill in action." That idea of using the three doshas, using our breath, bringing our intention in to join mind and body into a harmonious movement that serves us not only on our mat, but makes us stronger, mind and body, to walk out into our day, to live and fulfill our dream, and to serve one another. I want to thank you for sharing your practice with me this morning. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone. Hope you had a good practice today. I'm going to open up your mics, so if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask them. And I'll turn off our recording so you don't have to worry that your questions are being recorded.